Well, critics crying foul today after getting new information about America's job creators. Moody's, the same company threatening right now to downgrade America's ratings if it defaults, says that non-financial companies like Apple and Pfizer, are sitting on more than $1 trillion. That's a lot of green. My next guest is seeing red because of it. Democratic Congressman Tennessee Steve Cohen. Now, Congressman, you say these companies have an obligation to hire. Is that the gist of it?
Well, I think they should hire. I think the economy's getting better. I think that people foresee a better economy in the second quarter. You know, I predicted the Dow at 12,000 a long time ago right here on this show. I see it going up to 13,000. It's gone down some because of this inaction in Congress, but I think we're going to get something resolved. The bond ratings, the bond interest rates have not gone down.
Well, I mean, you might be optimistic on the economy, Congressman. I knock on whatever. I hope you're right, but the latest numbers seem to show just the opposite. Durable goods orders, a key gauge of how the manufacturing sector is doing, have swooned. No such sign of progress in the real estate world and housing. More companies laying off. In fact, the layoff picture has picked up considerably with Research in Motion and others. This week alone, more than 10,000 such layoffs announced. So if it's not a double dip, it's something bad. What's going on?
Well, I hope it doesn't happen. The railroads have had an increase in their traffic, and usually you can graph over the last 20 years the traffic that the railroads take and transportation and freight with the Standard & Poor's, and it really goes right along with it. And railroad traffic has been going up, and that's a good indication for the market.
All right, so hope springs the tail on railroad traffic and that Dow theory that goes with that. You're quite right. But I do want to get a sense of why companies that are starting to make money or have improved their fortunes because they've cut their costs, why they should hire or spend that money hiring folks now when they don't know what the heck is going to come out of you and your colleagues in Washington. They don't know what's going to come out of this health care bill and the law and what it's going to cost them. They don't know what taxes could come down the pike or regulations come down the pike. What's to stop them from just keeping their powder dry?
Well, you know, in Germany, they've had a great economic movement. Their taxes are at 46%, the highest level. They have a VAT tax of about 21%. It hasn't stopped Germany from having a strong manufacturing economy. And we're going to try to have a Make It in America jobs program, invest in infrastructure that creates jobs, and encourage innovation and investment innovation and new technology and green jobs, and try to get Pell Grants to be maintained so we have educational opportunity. I think we'll be able to do some of those things, and I hope that what the Republicans have done by putting off this debt ceiling, which should have been a clean debt ceiling, which they did for President Bush 7 times, putting it off, it's hurt the market some, but the markets haven't been nearly as bad as when they didn't vote for the TARP that President Bush put forward.
You're blaming the Republicans on this? I mean, you guys are 800 days plus late on submitting a budget at all. I think there's enough blame to go around, right?
Well, I don't know. That's not the budget. The budget is different from the debt ceiling.
But all of you guys rejected. Wait a minute. All of you guys rejected raising the debt ceiling in 2006. I'm just saying. Then it was supposedly politics, or not politics, when you did that. Now it is. I'm just saying that if you're going to rip Republicans for playing politics now, then what were you guys doing then?
I wasn't here in 2006, and I don't know about the debt ceiling vote there.
Okay, that's fine. Then what do you think of what they were doing back then? Because every Democrat, including then Senator Barack Obama, voted against raising it. What were they doing then? Speaking their conscience or just being fools?
The debt ceiling was raised.
I know it was. I know it was. But the vote was against it, and the same things were said in reverse.
But the Republicans voted for it, and they had voted for the 2 wars. They were off budget. They voted for the prescription Medicare drug plan that was off budget. They voted for all the Bush tax cuts. The biggest expenses
as did Democrats. As did Democrats, right?
Some Democrats, but predominantly Republicans and predominantly Bush. And the bottom line is, what we're talking about is paying the debts that we owe.
Congress, I'm telling you, people listen to this. People listen to this and they say, you know, these guys are still doing the blame game. They're still bringing up George Bush. When do you guys let go of Bush? When do you guys just put the Bush thing away?
Well, I don't know about that. That's not the issue. The issue is this is paying for our debts in the past.
Congressman, you raised it. Why don't you just let go? He's been out of office, going on a few years. Let go.
Because the Republican Congress from 2000 to 2006 supported his policies, and now some of those very same people
as did a majority,
as
did a majority of Democrats who and played the same games and played the same games on budgets by not submitting one over the last 800+ days. All I'm saying is, believe me, Republicans are hardly saints, but you can't say that at least a few of your colleagues ain't sinners.
I can't say that. No, indeed I can't. But what I'm saying is this policy, this issue is about paying your debts and not being a deadbeat. America should not be a deadbeat. We shouldn't be like Greece. We shouldn't be like Portugal. It shouldn't be an issue. and to hold the nation hostage, because they want to defeat
Wait a minute,
this
wait a minute.
president
They're
is
hostage.
wrong.
Wait a minute. So they're hostage if they want to rein in on spending, but liberals aren't if they want to keep spending it kind of where it is. So you can't have it both ways.
No, liberals don't necessarily want to. We understand we need to have some cuts in the budget,
right,
but we shouldn't have them in areas where we are costing innovation and infrastructure investment. We should. Your hedge fund folks out there that are making millions and billions. My Steve Cohen. I'm Steve Cohen.
Right.
There's the other Steve Cohen making $1 billion. He pays 15% carried interest tax rate. That's why he's got all those art pieces and cars and homes. That's ridiculous. The average Americans can't stand that. Oil breaks, tax breaks.
The average American can't stand this, Congressman. They just can't. The back and forth, the back and forth. Oh, they're resurrecting Bush again. I guarantee you, 70 years from now, Democrats will still be talking about the evil Darth Vader, George Bush. I think it's time to move on. I think it's time to let
and like
go.
you said, just like you said, the American people don't want to see this. That's why we don't need this Boehner plan that just continues it for 6 months with another vote. It'll be another vote. Oy vey, my guy. Michigan.
All right. Okay, Congressman, thank you very much.
Send me some chopped liver.
There
Thank you, Neil.